Welcome to the Transforming Healthcare Coaching Podcast, where we bring you guidance and coaching perspectives so that you can level up in your life and work. Hi there, I'm your host, Lillian Liang Emlet, and I am joined each week by our incredible and diverse team of energy leadership coaches and guest speakers to bring you coaching perspectives to expand your awareness and inspire you to action. We believe that by empowering each individual within the healthcare community, we can create a ripple effect of positive change. I would like to introduce our team of coaches for today's episode.
Hi, I am Gillian Faith, and my healthcare experience comes from rehabilitation services as a clinician and also a clinical leader in both Scotland and the USA. I have also spent years in human resources management. I like to work with clinical managers, healthcare executives, and also clients who are experiencing overwhelm and stress. They may be dealing with conflict, or they may have important decisions or transitions to make.
Hello, I'm Griselda Anguiano, mental health pediatrician and certified professional coach. My passion lies in partnering to empower parents as they navigate the joys and challenges of raising neurodiverse children, or as they themselves seek support for their own neurodiversity. Through a holistic and collaborative approach, I strive to foster resilience, understanding, and growth in families.
Hi, I'm Klaus Grim. I'm an emergency medicine and urgent care physician assistant and clinical assistant professor practicing in the Boston area. I enjoy partnering with healthcare professionals across all specialties, students, and frontline workers to empower them to thrive in their personal and professional lives by reclaiming joy at home and at work and turning their life goals into reality.
Hi, my name is Amy, life transition and career coach. From mind-body therapist to an ultrasound technologist, I've worked hands-on with thousands of clients. I understand the challenges of balancing work and self-care, especially in the healthcare field. We work together to ignite your inner motivations and line up your goals with your career and your personal life. Sometimes a simple shift is all it takes.
So, a little bit about me, I wear many hats. I'm an adult intensivist, emergency physician, and simulation educator. I'm also a single mom, Peloton junkie, and a foodie. I went back to school and became a certified professional coach during the pandemic, mostly because of the pandemic, right? It shook up everybody's lives. And I also experienced the power of coaching my own life. And then I started this group. And so I'm super excited to be able to find aligned people who want to help all of healthcare together. So we're super excited today to talk a little bit about what exactly is one-on-one coaching in today's episode. How would you guys explain what is one-on-one coaching specifically for our healthcare professionals?
I always like to say that it's one size fits one. This is a really customized approach to what is going on with you and what your goals are and how we can focus and really use the coaching methodologies and other skills that we all have to help you unravel and hit the pause button and see how to move forward in your life in a new way.
There are so many different types of coaching programs out there. One-to-one coaching that sometimes people call individual coaching. There's group coaching, team coaching. And the beauty of one-to-one coaching is you're working confidentially with one coach as your partner to, as you mentioned, Amy, just focus on your unique goals and your personalized roadmap that we can create to really achieve new heights in your life and achieve whatever goals that are established in the relationship.
Yeah, and I like to think of it as a space that's being held for a client. It's hard to find a confidential, safe space like that in other areas of your life. We can talk to friends, we can talk to family, but the coaching relationship brings something different. The coach is there and really listening intently to what the client is saying. And it's all about the client.
And specifically for healthcare professionals, it's a little bit more unique than therapy because we're always moving forward to achieve something. And that could be related to your personal life, or it could be within your career that you're looking to work for, whether that you're looking for a transition in your career or you're looking to advance yourself within your career or looking for leadership positions. These are things that all can be obtained and worked on in a coaching relationship.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for sharing. I think it's one of those things where all of the clients that have come to us really have been relieved when they realize all of us are in healthcare and they don't really have to explain themselves or explain what the shifts are like or explain the issues that we have with staffing and charting and unexpected things that happen during your shift and some of the clinical things and the funny odd humor that sometimes we bring to healthcare. It's really refreshing for most of our clients to realize that we get it and they don't have to explain everything to us in that coaching relationship. So even in that one-to-one, we're able to bring that piece of ourselves to the coaching relationship, which is what makes our one-on-one coaching relationships unique. I'm wondering whether you could explain for everyone on the podcast what exactly happens in our typical one-on-one coaching packages that we have for healthcare professionals. What can they expect in terms of the structure for how the sessions go? How long are they? How many months does it go? What can they expect in terms of either some activities that we might put them through or outcomes?
We typically get started with having the ELI, the Energy Leadership Index, and really figuring out where they're showing up right now and highlighting that it doesn't mean where they need to stay. So we use that more as a foundation to really learn about the energies, which we all love to talk about the energies. And then the next sessions where we meet will have a structure of what would you like to talk about today, highlighting that our style of coaching is solution focused and we're going to partner with what you're bringing to the table today. And although your initial goal was to talk about specific topic, something might have just come up with your organization or your family, and you feel that is really taking up of your time. So as far as different activities, it just depends. Sometimes we're going to talk about using values, and so bring in a values assessment or different wheel to help illustrate where we are, where we want to be. And as far as outcomes, it really is about what you want and how ready you are to take on that change.
I think one thing in a coaching relationship that's very beneficial is when a coach reflects back what they're hearing the client say. I have personally found that very useful when I have been coached. Sometimes we have our own thoughts and our own beliefs, but actually having somebody listen and reflect back can give us greater awareness and broader perspective.
We typically, in the initial one-to-one coaching relationship, do between 6 to 9 sessions to really jumpstart these goals that you have or goals that you're going to create through a coaching relationship. And usually we recommend within the first 4 or so sessions that you have them every week and then can spread them out to every other week. Usually we do roughly 3 months to really get you to step up here. Once you have that experience with a coach, that time frame can even be extended further.
One way of approaching it too is when people come, they may have this big goal, the overarching goal. And as we then start meeting, they have a specific goal each time we meet, adding in the different assessments, exercises, the ELI assessment. And as there's awareness brought up and the relationship between the coach and the client builds, there's a dance that happens and there's a communication that is able to build the awareness and then moving through stages to then reach into some growth.
I want to just add that at the end of every session, we try to begin to think about what kind of clarity and also what kind of action that you'll take between the sessions. There is actually just as much work and accountability that happens in between the sessions where you get to have the opportunity to actually go do the small wins. And through the small wins, the clarity comes. We often, as coaches, talk about the fact that we're just slowly unpeeling the layers of the onion to get you towards your goal. We're there to cheer you along the way. And so that's really how the coaching sessions end each time so that we can continue to move forward after each session.
And then the beginning of the sessions as it moves on is to check in for the accountability piece. And this is something that people really like with the coaching is the accountability. So they've set their things that they're going to do as their goals from session to session and then reviewing that the next time. So that helps people meet their goals.
So true, Amy. I have to admit, when you have to tell somebody else you did or didn't do something, and when someone else is there to celebrate with you, that's when you actually realize I can actually do this compared to marking it off by myself in my private journal. I'm curious, so how has the role and the approach of one-on-one coaching for healthcare professionals evolved or changed since the COVID pandemic, especially considering the increased amount of stress and workload that we've seen in healthcare professionals? What have you guys been seeing?
Well, the fact that working online is so accepted and normal for people now, it actually allows people the flexibility and ability to do appointments and work from their own, sometimes from their own car, from their own home, or on their lunch hour. That ability now that everyone is so used to online meetings, that really helps people with saving a lot of time.
I think people have become so much more aware of the stress, the anxiety, the workload that has resulted because of the COVID pandemic. Because I feel that many healthcare workers hit rock bottom during COVID, as you can tell by many people leaving the field completely, to constantly relocating, to struggling with their own illnesses, what it may be. So that awareness, which is something as coaches thrive upon, we love that awareness that we all can develop, that people are ready. A lot of people are ready to take change on that. They're ready to say, well, I need something different. And I think that's where coaching has been booming, is that people are starting to say, I want to do this. I don't know how to figure out what that means to me, and really start to make those goals and those changes based off those goals without some kind of partner guiding them.
I love the analogy because if therapy is looking back to heal about the trauma from the pandemic, and if a mentor and a sponsor really helps you advance in the career trajectory you already know about, coach helps you take the leap. And most of us, since the pandemic, are leaping. We're leaping to find the next big pivot. And it's that weird itch that everyone, when I talk to my friends and colleagues in healthcare, like, what's next? What now? And you don't really know the answer because nobody knows the answer. So therefore, a mentor or a sponsor or your boss can't help you. So it makes sense that we have to find some kind of talent that doesn't exist currently in our workplace.
I think just one thing I'd like to add is the opportunity of what the pandemic brought. As much as it was really hard for so many people, it was on the big screen about how difficult it is to be in the front line, how difficult it is to carry these lives on your shoulders. And so many were still showing up, so many were still doing it. So the burnout was on the screen, but yet it still was happening before and after. But I think just now that the awareness that we were talking about is now everywhere.
So I'm wondering, how do we as coaches tailor our approach to meet the needs of an individual healthcare professional, given the fact that there's so many diverse roles and responsibilities and specialties in the field? How do we actually tailor our services?
The beauty of it is that we're all healthcare experienced here, whether currently practicing or have been practicing in medicine. And what's unique is that we tailor each coaching program that we have specific to the individual that we're working with. So whether you're a general surgeon looking for better work-life balance, or to further excel in their career, or a new graduate trying to navigate the healthcare landscape and feeling like there's nobody there to hold their hand or guide them through the system, everything is unique in terms of our coaching setup that we help with each of our clients.
Yeah, while everything's unique, there are also similarities from client to client. So we can all be working in different professional fields, but we have a common theme of burnout or not enough time in the day, not spending enough time with families. As Klaus said, every approach is individualized towards each client.
And I think another way that we individualize it is just knowing that there's a lot of people who work in shifts. So it may not be possible to meet weekly or to meet on mornings. So we may have to be creative with the way we meet the needs of every individual person.
And things can pivot and shift for each person. So we have the ability to also respond that way. Even if their big goals change, or as they're moving even within a session, it can change. So really having that ability to connect with people, and as someone said earlier, there's a commonality between everybody. There's so many different specialties in the field, but we're all people. And so that is the basic core of how we meet with people.
I love that. In the end of the day, we are all human. And this is a human need for thriving that we're really fulfilling. And we also happen to be amazing healthcare workers. And I think the thing that people also underestimate with the unique challenges in healthcare is also the unique strengths. We are very caring. mission-driven, heart-centered, intelligent people who are very resilient. Just have to be reminded of that sometimes with the coach. And so I think just tapping into that, because we often stuff it away and forget and pretend that we don't have these aspects of ourselves. A coach allows us to shine those parts of ourselves again. And that's, I think, how we tailor our approach to meet the unique needs of all of our different healthcare professionals. And so, how does one on one coaching actually get integrated into the broader goals of healthcare organizations? How do we, as external coaches, help organizations fulfill their needs to improve both the individual and organizational performance? We are external coaches to help you, the private one on one client that we have. And yet, if you're an organizational leader listening to this podcast, you're wondering, how can we work with you as an organization? So I'm curious what people are thinking about how we help in general, the entire landscape of healthcare organizations.
We have a lot of different coaching programs that can be utilized by organizations, but specifically to our one-to-one coaching services. We meet one-on-one with healthcare professionals of all specialties, of all roles, to partner with them to grow exponentially. And if you have a healthcare professional in your organization that is looking for that further growth within the organization, what we offer could be instrumental to that growth for you and the organization at the same time.
And if I'm working with a healthcare leader, I would always want to understand their personal goal, but also the goals of their division and ultimately of the healthcare organization. And when the goals are all aligned and we help remove any barriers to success, then the results overall can be far greater.
I totally agree. If we're working with the group or the organization and find those similar pillars that they feel are important, then that's where we can also pivot and offer those one-on-one coaching while still holding the whole group in front and center. And as we say it many times, that the way we show up for anything is the way we show up for everything. So if each of our individual wheels of life are flowing and turning smoothly, so much more will that organizational piece work optimally.
And sometimes some of the barriers with achieving goals are things like relationships. Maybe we don't get along with somebody on our team or our leader, and how do we approach that? How do we navigate that? So as coaches, we can help with making relationships more productive, dealing with conflict and any other barriers that may come along.
I always like to think of how, as an external coach, we actually are in some ways like a secret friend that you have, different from internal coaches who do amazing work for your organization. They really do change the culture and also teach coaching as a leadership skill. And they also have other networks internal to the organization. We, as external coaches, give a sort of a breath of fresh air. We're a different perspective. And because of the diversity of our team, we actually can maybe give a different lens through which you might be able to find the solution that you're looking for as a healthcare leader. By investing in just a one-on-one for a few key players inside your organization, it can sometimes be the jumpstart that you need for what you need to do internally as an organization. Sometimes we all just need a realignment. An external voice is a great way to get reset and refresh to see whether we're all going in the same direction. And maybe if it's not the right fit, it's a win-win for everybody. I don't think that staying in a place that people aren't aligned is what anyone wants. And so I'm curious, as we come to a close, does anyone have any final thoughts about the power and the magic of the one-on-one coaching, which I know most of us hold dear and near to our hearts, as compared to our different things, which are things like our membership program, our group coaching programs? What do you love the most about the one-on-one?
I think going back to what Amy said about it's individualized. So even though we know what the healthcare professionals are going through, but it's still my life, and my life is different, and I have a different path, and I need different support.
I like that it's that you have a partner. It's almost like you have this person that you can, almost like a therapist, divulge everything to, and you can say, that's my accountability partner. I can spill everything that I need to and constantly move forward in such a positive way with somebody and really achieve these things with somebody that I thought that I could never achieve by myself.
Yeah, I really enjoy being viewed as a trusted partner and also the catalyst, because we get to know our clients so well and we really can help be the force behind the change that our clients are looking for.
And yeah, that one size fits one that is so unique and special. And so, of course, everyone has their own past, their own experiences, their own thoughts, their own process, their own life. So, really witnessing and being there, as everyone has mentioned, as a trusted source. And sometimes they're saying things they've never said to anyone. And then not because it's even such a secret, they didn't even realize it. So, really having that time and space to allow people to hit the pause button and just start to live their life versus react and make choices in a new way.
I love that. Thank you, everyone, for sharing all those different things. And something I always come back to is the fact that many of our values of this company is actually diversity and authenticity. And through the one-on-one coaching, we actually allow each person to tap into themselves, to find who they are, all the many roles, responsibilities, but most importantly, their identity and values. And through that celebration of themselves and becoming more powerful and authentic in that space, then you actually can have diversity. You can be okay with each other, and you can actually be curious about each other and actually celebrate how we actually are all different. But it first comes with knowing yourself and what you bring to the table as a healthcare professional. Thank you so much for listening to the Transforming Healthcare Coaching podcast. If you found this episode interesting or useful, please share this with your friends and colleagues in healthcare. And we will love it if you hit subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Leave us a review on wherever you are listening to us. It means a lot to us, and we actually read every comment. Also, we want to help with the topics and problems that you want us to talk about. Email us with suggestions, feedback, and praise at podcast@transforminghealthcarecoaching.com. If you want deeper support for your life and work as a healthcare clinician and leader, head over to transforminghealthcarecoaching.com and see how we can partner together to meet your goals. Download your copy of our free 5 reflection questions to jumpstart your journey as you level up in your life and work, and get on our email list. Be the first to know about our coaching programs and what's coming. Together, we can transform healthcare, one person at a time.